Okay, so for Kat, what are her guides telling her about this relationship that she just started? It feels important, but he keeps disappearing. And then also something about direction. So let's tackle one at a time. So for the relationship for Kat, is this a relationship that is optimal for a long-term commitment? Let's start there. No, it's not for long-term. Is it a relationship that's optimal for investing time in the short term? Yeah, but it's kind of wishy-washy. It's like, if you really want to, but while you're spending time there, that's preventing you from going out and meeting somebody else if that's what you're truly desiring. Is that connection?
Okay, perfect. Yeah, no, that's perfect. I mean, I know that he really likes me. He's the one who came after me, but it's just, I don't know. I always know that people come into our lives for a reason, and I just don't get it on this one. So, but I like to finish things off before I move on to the next one. And I have a feeling that that's really what I need to be doing with this.
Yeah. That's why the answer was kind of in between. You do what you want with it, Kat.
Right.
But definitely not a long-term thing. So as long as it's serving you, enjoy it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And
Okay.
so what about your work and direction? Do you want to give me a little more detail on what you want there?
Well, I think it's just, I think that what other people are kind of, with all of this quarantine and stuff, it's interesting in the parts of your work and stuff that have shut down. And then the parts of your work that are opening up. And so with me, I'm in the creative field. And so opening up those aspects of it online, so much of my income was based on going out and meeting people. And that's changed. So, but I do know that through my creative work, I am, that's kind of my purpose and stuff. I just don't know how to express it at this point. And when I ask guides for direction, I don't know. I'm new to all of this, so I'm trying to figure it out.
Yeah. So
I'm
the
not
first
sure.
thing that hit me as you're talking about that, you know, you're used to going out and working with people face to face and making those human connections. So when you get online, you need to kind of do the same thing. You've got to make that connection. And since they can't see you, they're only reading your words or maybe seeing you like in a virtual setting. You need to make a connection first before you try to bring them on as a client. Now, Katja, who was on earlier, is an expert at this. So any of you who are on the call or listening to this recording later, if you're having trouble making connections online, I highly recommend you connect with Katja. So I'm making a mental note. I need to put the link for Katja in this video because she can help you with transitioning and bringing your personality, your energy to your online presence. She can teach you how to do that very effectively because there really is an art to it. You know, how you feel if somebody comes into your messenger and drops a message and they're trying to sell you, and it's like, who are you and why are you here? It's kind of a feeling of being invaded, right? You don't want to do that. That turns people off, and now you've just lost a potential opportunity to connect with someone. So it's about connecting human to human first and finding out what you have in common, whether they might even be somebody you could work with, or maybe they know somebody you could work with. So it's going to slow you down. I think that's one of the big differences about going online. You've got to go slower and allow the relationships to develop. And then it should kind of happen organically as they get to know you and what you do. If they're interested, they'll let you know. Maybe you throw out an offer that intrigues them, but it needs to evolve a little slower, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess I didn't articulate it well in parts of it because I'm a photographer, a commercial photographer. And so working with those clients, you have to go out and physically be out photographing with people and product and everything else. Well, that's been shut down now. And that I had shifted my focus to that being a large part of my income. It's postponed, I guess is a better way of putting it.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, I realized maybe I should be focusing in on my fine art part of it. And because if I had done that, I would be able to sell books or, you know, be doing that. And so trying to shift myself into that, because that's a much scarier form of income because it's not as certain.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard for me. And I also feel like it's important for me to be doing and getting my voice out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
Well,
whether or not I bring in illustration or something, you know, something.
don't overcomplicate. Don't bring in too much all at once and overwhelm yourself. So if you can't do what you've been doing, then it's like that door's closed to you, right? So don't fight with that door. You look for the
Right.
doors that are easier to open. Now, there was a lady who came, I think it was last month, who also was wanting to do photography and running into the same problem. How can you get out and do it when you're in isolation? Well, what you can do is you can get out and take photos of nature and, you know, whatever's going on in the world, because guess what? There are a lot of online entrepreneurs who need beautiful photographs for their websites, for their marketing. If you could come in and fill a spot in the market where you offer these beautiful photos, but they're at a price point that these small businesses who are struggling can afford, it could be this beautiful marriage of a need, right? And for both sides. So that's something you could think about. But what you're being called now to do is to allow inspiration to come in. How else can you use your gift? How many different ways? And what are the ones that you enjoy the most? Because it's always picking the thing you enjoy the most, that thing that lights you up, that you would do for free if you didn't have bills to pay. For all of us, that's what we need to be seeking. That's why I'm here today. I love doing this. I could do this all day long. It lights me up. It feeds my soul.
Okay.
So think
Perfect.
about that. What feeds your soul? Go do that. That's what all of our souls are desiring.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.